All right, so let's see. I took my hairband out from the last video I did, and I'll show you. I washed my hair yesterday, and I did not put anything at all in it, like none of the aloe gels that I have for dreads and none of the tightening sprays. Took a little tiny bit of self-control not to do that. But my hair had been kind of stiff, and I really wanted it to loosen up too a little bit, so I wanted it to loosen up. I really didn't expect my hair to get this short because I see so many people with dreadlocks that are super long. And my hair was pretty long for a while, and I guess I just misunderstood that the tightening up and the shrinking happens like a few months after you get your dreads. Not like at the beginning, close to the beginning. I thought, oh, if my hair didn't shrink that much from being back combed like that. I just really did not know. I didn't know. So, anyway, my hair is very healthy, and I, dyed it the third time, but the most recent time I dyed it was about a week ago, and I'm still not having any itchy scalp issues. Fingers crossed. The last time I did it on September 11th, I had itchy scalp that started a week and a half later, so it may be coming. Who knows? Let's see. What did I want to tell you guys? Well, I keep putting my hair up in different ways so you get a chance to see it, because I know when I look at people with dreadlock videos, I want to see their hair. And it's hard to see the dreads from the front, even the people that have mature dreads. So I'll let you see the top again. You guys have been seeing the parts from the front when I lean forward a little bit. I'll show you the back. I don't know what it looks like. Maybe I'll use a mirror just to make it interesting, because okay. I didn't look before as far as when I sectioned it, to put some of the hair up into the ponytail and some of it down. You can see here how, like, at the roots, it's a lot more vivid. That's because I just colored it, and I only colored the roots, not the, did not color the rest of the hair, just the roots. So it takes a little while for it to fade, but it did lighten my roots, which was my point here in doing it that way. So yeah, I hope you can see pretty well there. So the texture is looking good of these dreads. It just told me that I had 10% of the battery remaining. I'll probably have to do another cut and then plug in my iPad for me. Plug it in so that it has some more power. Let's see, there you can see the top of my ponytail, you can see that. My hair is pretty stiff because it's so tight that I'm working on actually letting it loosen up a little bit, and just not palm rolling as much. Can't really get myself to stop doing it completely, but let it loosen up a little, because right now I couldn't even twist it around to do any of this stuff, and I think it's probably better that I don't until it's mature anyway. But I can't really do too much of that stuff because it feels stiff, and it doesn't feel like it would be very good for my dreads to curl, or to curl it even, to do curling. And when I say curling, I mean the kind that you let it dry naturally, not like heat processing or anything. For the dreads that you can do when it's damp. You can use the gel, like the tropical tightening gels, for setting the curl in your dreads once you decide that you want to curl them. So that's cool. And then you just let your hair dry in the pipe cleaners or whatever you chose to use as far as your process of curling. I'm sure that there are a ton of things like using a little rag to tie them up, each individual one, stuff like that. But this hair is really stiff. I mean, you see how it's standing out, and then if I try and bend it, it just doesn't seem right, so I'm not going to do it. So for me, dreadlocks are a long-term commitment for me this time. So I am looking at, you know, keeping them. I seriously think, I mean, I've had my tongue pierced for at least 5 years, and I have, you know, just get used to it, just have it. So I do not see myself getting rid of these dreads. I get disappointed when I see people on YouTube, online, getting rid of their dreads. And, you know, it's their story. I don't know why I'm getting disappointed. It's just, maybe it comes from a place of being like, I'm afraid that once my dreads get mature, like I've been working so hard and waiting and all that stuff to like, for them to be mature. And then, I don't know when it'll happen. You know, I know they're more mature now than they were a month ago, but I don't know. I mean, I've heard estimates anywhere from 8 months to 3 years, or maybe closer to 2 years for maturing. That's why I'm trying really hard to just stick with the Dreadlock shampoos, not go off onto other stuff that might work just fine, but not as specific to the dreads. Also, another reason why I'm doing palm rolling and washing it often. I mean, it's my choice, but I wanted to get there sooner than later. But like I was getting ready to say before I went on that tangent, what was I going to say? Oh, so I'm in this for the long haul. I really do believe it. Maybe a lot of people say that when they first get their dreads. I'm not sure. But I see people that are very experienced and they've done a lot of YouTube videos taking them out and saying, taking them out and saying that it's because, you know, maybe sometimes their lifestyle changed and they started exercising more, which is always a plus. And so sweating, you know, your scalp sweats and people feel like they kind of do find that they want to wash their hair more often than they did before. And with your hair being long, your dreads being long, that can be an issue. Now, I don't want that to be the case. I mean, right now, my scalp is exposed enough that there's a lot of air circulation. But I know that it takes a long time to dry your hair, especially when they're more mature and you've got longer ones and stuff. So I'm just hoping that doesn't happen where I feel like it's just too much on me, too much weight on me, or too, you know, not good for my scalp, or just, you know, any of those things. It makes me sad to think that that could happen to me too. I want this to be a healthy hairstyle for me. I'm not saying I'm not going to trim them when they get too long. You know, I don't want them to be getting caught in things like doorways when I go through. I mean, people with hair below their middle of their back, sometimes that'll happen. They're rolling over in bed and like somebody will, maybe their partner will roll onto their hair. I mean, I've heard that. So I just don't want that to happen. And who knows? I mean, you can't control it, but I really do want this to be a long-term thing. I want to be one of those people that's had them for 15 years and still does some videos about it. And that's really cool. So I think I'm on the right path. I think my scalp is really healthy because I am maintaining it enough that the roots are, well, my scalp's exposed, because I think that sometimes when people have a lot of loose hairs, and that looks great on them, that their hair or their scalp isn't quite as, doesn't breathe as much, because, you know, you got these dreads up against it. Plus then if the loose hairs are also there, and then some people have really thick hair and it kind of gets I don't know if it gets matted up against their scalp. Now I'm talking about white people here, for the most part, like with the more like loose curls, if they have curls, or straight hair. So I think it's a little bit different with black people's hair, because their hair will grow out and be dense here and stuff like that. And I don't know whether that causes them problems all the time. But I know you're not supposed to maintain your roots too much. And that's something that Yanni, the lockologist, talks about. But my hair, you know, I'm hoping that with the way that it has been dreading from the root pretty well on its own, I believe, because my roots are not, there's not much grow out there. And that's like healthy amount, like maybe even a little bit more. Debbie would probably want to see a little more grow out, actually. But my hair is dreading from the roots for the most part. And so I am thinking that probably my scalp is getting enough air circulation that I probably won't have the feeling of, oh, it's just all on my scalp. And when it's hot out, you feel even hotter because it's like wearing a wool hat, people have said. I hope that doesn't happen to me. I hope I don't take them out. So with that, I'm getting pretty tired. It's really late at night here. It's like 12:44 p.m. or a.m. Sorry, 12:44 a.m. And that means that my mind is not functioning super up to par in terms of focus and staying on focus. What did I want to say? I wanted to say politics. I kind of want to talk about it, but I kind of don't want to talk about it. I respect people that don't want to talk about it. But I'm a little bit nervous about what's going on in the political election thing happening right now. Today is October 29th. Actually just turned to be October 30th, 45 minutes ago. But here in the United States, 2016, we have 2 political candidates to choose from, and you've got some other ones too that are like the other parties or non-party as well. But 2 main, I don't know the last time that a libertarian candidate or Green Party candidate became elected for president. I'm not sure if there ever was or how long it's been. But we're probably going to get either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump to be our president in the next, like, less than a month. So I'm pretty worried. I didn't think Donald Trump would make it this far. And my mom supports him. She's a supporter of him. I'm not sure. My mom and I, we differ and we try not to talk about it too much, but I really am just beside myself as far as what's going on. I'm watching this show called Scandal. That was, I'm kind of behind on it, so I'm watching it on Amazon Instant Video, and I'm close to the last episodes of this season, which is season 5 that I'm watching. So they do kind of allude to Trump or a candidate in the story, that they kind of talk kind of like about him as if he's being kind of, his character is being inspired by Trump, Donald Trump. And I am pretty nervous about what this means about the state of our country. All of the police shootings, all of the needs for like Black Lives Matter campaigns and things that people are clearly not happy in this country. People are clearly pissed off, frustrated, disenfranchised, not just Black people, but a lot of Black people, a lot of people from other cultures as well. And not even, I mean, and also other people that just feel like, gosh, like they have to get a college education and pay off student loans and try and find a job just to get a decent job in this country, because manufacturing jobs, like skilled labor, jobs like that you didn't usually need to go to college for, are going overseas. And that is just so, it's such a hard problem to solve. It's a really hard problem. And so it bothers me. I don't think everybody should have to go to college in order to have a chance at a good job. And that seems to be what's happening. In a lot of small towns in this country, people are losing jobs because it's going overseas, because the people in power would rather make larger profit margin for their shareholders and themselves than keep jobs in this country. And Donald Trump, there's so many problems with him. I can't even get started on it. Probably shouldn't get started on it. But he cares about business and making money. And yeah, it's okay to have a business person that has business sense, money sense, running the country to a certain extent. But it's just integrity. And I just don't think I see integrity with that man. And call me idealistic, but I don't think that's idealistic for that one. But for maybe the other candidate, I have some issues with her as well. But I wouldn't, you know, pretty sure I'm going to vote for her because really it's important at this point. I was asking someone, I don't know whether, but I think probably Adolf Hitler was actually elected by the people of Germany. And, you know, the reason he had his power so much that people believed him for a long time in Germany, that he was like okay and on their side, was because that there were issues in the country. There were social issues, economic problems at the time, and so the people elected him. And then what happened, and finally people figured it out. Other countries were figuring it out. Probably took too long to like really respond aggressively to do so, to get him out of there. But that could happen in our country to a certain extent. I mean, if we elect Donald Trump, I don't want to minimize the Holocaust in any way, shape, or form, but I'm worried that what happened with Adolf Hitler being elected by the people, if these people in this country, enough of them, vote for Donald Trump, I am very concerned that it could be something, probably not, hopefully as bad as the Holocaust, oh heaven forbid, but bad for women, bad for Roe v. Wade, which he will probably somehow find a way to have the judges that he needs on the Supreme Court in order to overturn Roe v. Wade, which is what allows women to get abortions early term if they choose that they do not want to have a baby. Gosh, I think it should be a choice regardless of your individual opinion on like your own self if you were to become pregnant, whether you would want to have an abortion in that case, but women having the right in general in this country, I don't think that shouldn't be the case. So that's what I have to say about politics. I'm nervous. Hopefully when you guys are watching it, maybe it's all over and it's all okay, better than if we have Donald Trump. I don't want to alienate anybody either, any viewers that really do want Donald Trump to win, because I realize that I'm only getting some parts of the story and that there are a lot of people, hardworking people probably even, that really do want Donald Trump to become president, and they think that he has their best interests in mind or the country's best interests in mind. So I don't want to say I know it all here about this, but I am worried. I have concerns about his integrity and his character to a larger extent than I do about Hillary's. And George W. Bush as well. Actually, I have a lot more concerns about Trump than I did about George W. Bush. So I'm getting really tired and I'm probably going to go to sleep soon. So I'm going to finish this video up. And I wanted to say that I really am glad that you guys are watching, and I hope I can help. I love the comments. I love the comments that ask questions or give links to important things that I ask about that I'm interested in knowing. Like one of the more recent ones I did on crocheting dreads, it was probably a couple weeks ago now. I was using the Dreadlocks crochet hook, which is size 1.5 millimeter. So someone suggested, and they suggested a video by someone who was doing crocheting in a very good way. And then they suggested, well, on that other person's video, because the person that made the comment to my video said, gave me 2 links to other people that do good demonstrations of crocheting. And this commenter also said that the crochet hook that I was using from Dreadlocks is way too big, 1.5 millimeter. So I went online on Amazon and I looked for some stainless steel that looked good quality. And I got a 0.75, which is 0.75 millimeter. And this is a 0.6 millimeter. So this one's a little smaller, and they both work pretty well, just in a slightly different way, but they're both really good. And it's kind of cool because this part from here to the end is a gold tone. I'm not sure why, but these are made in Germany, I think. And if I get a chance, I'll make a link to the Amazon that I got it from, Amazon listing below. I was looking for some that weren't going to bend, because I know how when it's skinny like this, it could bend by use. And so I picked these, and it was from actually the same listing, and you could choose different sizes. So I got these today, and I've used them a little tiny bit, but I wanted to share that with you because the Dreadlocks ones are made for dreads, but they are a little bit thicker than this. And I did like them actually, but these are pretty good too. So I'm glad I have them. I'm glad somebody commented and gave me that information on crocheting. So with that, I'm going to say good night to you and love you all. I'm glad you're watching, and try to be kind to each other and yourself, especially be kind to yourself.